Before I start talking about Mandalorian, I should mention that there are going to be spoilers in this video for this season, and especially with yesterday's episode. So if you haven't watched any of season 3 yet, I recommend checking it out and then coming back to this video. Or, unless you don't care about spoilers, then you're totally fine to keep watching. I've been a fan of Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. I think they're really good. And this season 3, I'm very mixed on it. And I I mean I kind of know where the season's going, but at the same time, I don't. Like I think a lot of people when season 3 was going to happen, we all assumed that it was going to be about the retaking of Mandalore and the conflict between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. And we get some of that stuff, but it's only like 7 minutes. And this episode, for sure, yesterday's episode, um, I did not like it. It's probably my least favorite episode of the series. So let me go on and talk about it here. So the whole episode, it starts out with like this weird romance with these two people that were not introduced in the show beforehand. So I don't know what the whole point of that was. I don't know if that's going to lead to something. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, some of Bo-Katan's old crew is there trying to get one of them, and yeah, so that's that basically. And so Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, they're trying to meet up with Bo-Katan's old crew to try and retake Mandalore and get all the Mandalorians together. There's these two people, and they need help with something that's going on in their area. And the people are Jack Black and Lizzo. That's one thing I didn't like about this. The random cameos. It took me out of the whole show, to be honest. Jack Black was fine, but Lizzo, in my opinion, she just was not good. And it's nothing against Lizzo. I'm sure that Lizzo is a good musician. I haven't listened to her music. It's not my thing. But I'm sure she's very talented with her music. Maybe acting is just not for Lizzo, and that's not a bad thing, you know? It happens. But it kind of takes me out of the show when you have these random cameos. I remembered in Book of Boba Fett, Danny Trejo randomly showed up, and Thundercat, yeah, he showed up too. That was a weird. And even Obi-Wan Kenobi, you had Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers showing up out of nowhere, which I don't really know. I know Flea did some acting before, so it's not that bad, but still, it was kind of weird seeing Flea in Obi-Wan. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a fan of the random cameos that happen. And we also get Christopher Lloyd in this episode as well, which I thought he was actually pretty good. I actually liked Christopher Lloyd in this episode. I thought he was quite good. But yeah, so this whole episode is basically, so these droids are malfunctioning, and Din Djarin, they find like this base, and Din Djarin just starts beating up the droids, and one of them he deactivates has a card for a bar that droids go to. So I guess droids have wallets or something, and they carry around stuff, and they go to a bar, and that's where they get all the information, who the guy is, and it's Christopher Lloyd. He's the one that's malfunctioning the droids because he's a separatist. And yeah, it was just a filler. And the things that we wanted, like retaking a Mandalore, sending that stuff up, it happens in the last 7 minutes. We finally get what we want. And I don't know why we didn't just do that the whole episode, this whole season. This whole season's just been all over the place. Worst thing about it, we have 2 episodes left. So they're going to cram so much stuff. And the worst part about it is Jon Favreau. He's written most of the season. He's written yesterday's episode. And Bryce Dallas Howard, she directed it. And I'm not saying it's her fault. It is definitely not her fault. She did the best she could. She's directed some of my favorite Mandalorian episodes. And even Book of Boba Fett. She did a really good job with Book of Boba Fett. And yeah, I feel bad for her because she really tried her best on this. And I don't know what Jon Favreau was thinking when he written this episode. Because with the thing I was really excited about for season 3 was the conflict between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. And they completely resolved that in a minute in this episode. So, like, Din Djarin is like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this Darksaber? Yeah, it's yours now. Take it. And now Bo-Katan has the Darksaber. You set something up like 2.5 years ago with season 2. And then you just completely wrap it up with a minute of dialogue. That's not good. That's really not good. And yeah, I'm not a fan of this season. I'm very mixed on it. There are some things that I like about it for sure, but there's also some negative things that I don't like, pacing-wise, and just where the season is going in general. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks about this. I'm sure I'm not alone on that. I think a lot of people think the same way. And yeah, this video wasn't really scripted. I just kind of decided to wing it to talk about my thoughts on it. And yeah, this is definitely my least favorite season of Mandalorian. And the fact that we got 2 episodes left, I just really hope they don't rush it. But with the way it's going right now, it seems like that's going to be the case. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts so far on The Mandalorian Season 3. Let me know what you guys think so far, and I'd love to hear your all's thoughts. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys next time.